Let me go. And Ning Tian is thinking, I didn't expect her to protect me. It seems like she really doesn't want me to die. After this, the sky clears. And the elder is asking the Supreme Elder, how many spiritual veins did you get at your first opening? So the elder tells, I was considered a genius back then, with a total of 80. This kid is extremely talented. He should be able to open up 40 to 50 of them. Then elder asks Ning Tian, Patriarch, how many spiritual veins did you open up? So Ning Tian says, let me check. And Ning Tian starts checking, then he says, there is obviously still more than half of the aura left. Only 199 were opened. And hearing this, the Supreme Elder and the elders become very shocked. This part begins and we see Dongxin Kingdom, Imperial Court. At the same time we see two people, and one of them happens to be Dongxin Kingdom Emperor, Lin Bai. And the second one is physician Tian Lao. And Tian Lao is telling Lin Bai, reporting to the Lord, the place where the tribulation occurred was the heavenly demonic sect. And Lin Bai says, it's that heavenly demonic sect again. After my son came back from that sect, he lost his spirit and suffered from worries incurable by medicine. He became like a cripple. Tian Lao, contact the Righteous Alliance this instance to discuss the matter of destroying the heavenly demonic sect. But Tian Lao says, but Emperor, the Empress is there. And Lin Bai gets very angry, and he says, what of it? The heavenly demonic sect is located in our Dongxin Kingdom, and now they are becoming more and more powerful. I have always worried that they would replace the imperial family sooner or later. If they aren't eliminated now, then when? And after this the scene shifts, and we see the same three elders. Who is watching the thunder tribulation? And the old man is saying, there was such a big thunder tribulation. Could it be that the Empress broke through to the God realm? Then the first elder says, the God realm? Not yet. If she had broken through, wouldn't that mean we are going to die if we go to suppress the heavenly demonic sect in 6 months? And the old man says, right, Lu Qingying has no way of becoming a god. How can she break through the God realm? Have you forgotten about the battle of the gods thrown hundreds of years ago? So many Emperor realm experts exhausted their lives trying to become a god, but in the end, they failed down the road of becoming a god and died full of grievance. Then the second elder says, the thunder tribulation was so loud this time, it must have alarmed the whole domain. And hearing this, first the elder is surprised, then he says, what could be the source? Then the old man says, whatever it is doesn't matter, it must have something to do with Luo Qingqing. Now the threat of the Empress is getting even bigger, the heavenly demonic sect must be dealt with as soon as possible. After this the scene shifts and we see Ning Tian and Luo Wuqing, which have now come out. And looking at them the Supreme Elder is thinking, I didn't expect our sect to have such a person, this boy will turn into a sharp weapon in the future, even reaching the God realm. And then Luo Wuqing extends her hand towards Ning Tian. And she tears Ning Tian's clothes with her hands, seeing which Ning Tian gets very surprised. And all the people present at that place are also very surprised. Then Luo Wuqing places her hand on Ning Tian's chest, and Ning Tian coughs and says, cough cough. Honey, isn't that a little inappropriate? So many disciples and elders are watching. And everyone is closing their eyes seeing the actions of Luo Wuqing and Ning Tian. But then Luo Wuqing uses her power, and uses some kind of power on Ning Tian's chest, due to which thunder starts emanating from Ning Tian's body. And Ning Tian feels a lot of pain, he screams loudly. Then he sits on the ground, then says to Luo Wuqing, dear wife you are. Then Luo Wuqing tells Ning Tian, there was still hidden damage left from the thunder tribulation in your body, I helped you with that. And Ning Tian gets surprised after listening to Luo Wuqing and he says, hidden damage? It turns out my wife was worried about me and wanted to help me heal. I'm so touched, I will definitely, wife? But then Luo Wuqing throws Ning Tian in the air with the help of her power, and she says, you talk too much. Then the elder nervously asks Luo Wuqing, Empress, will the patriarch be okay? So Luo Wuqing says, I didn't even use 10% of my strength, he won't die. Then Luo Wuqing stares at all of them and says, no one is allowed to speak of today's events. The ones who spread rumors will be mercilessly killed. Got it? And Luo Wuqing releases her power, realizing that everyone gets scared. And he says, replying to the Empress, we understand. There we see Ning Tian, which is still in the sky and is falling downwards. And he is screaming very loudly, then he falls into the water. Then he comes out of the water, and as soon as he comes out, we see some girls taking bath at that place. And seeing Ning Tian at that place, they all get very worried, wondering who he is. Then Ning Tian is saying, Luo Qingqing, after all, I'm still your husband, you actually threw me so far away. And after hearing Ning Tian's voice, a girl recognizes Ning Tian and calls him patriarch. And this is the same girl whom Ning Tian has met earlier. Then there are many girls also at that place. And one of the girls is saying, patriarch, why did you come to the hot springs?
And Ningtian is thinking about looking at all those beautiful girls. It's over. My reputation as an upright and proper patriarch will be ruined. And Ningtian tells those girls, no, that's an accident. Please listen to my explanation. I'm not such a person. Then a girl says, so it turns out the patriarch is a peeping Tom. And Ningtian gets a little confused after hearing this. Then the girl further says, if the patriarch really wants to see it, we will show you slowly. No need to peep. And this girl is giving an open invitation to Ningtian. And also all the girls present at this place are saying, patriarch, let me lose your muscles. And all the girls start moving towards Ningtian. And Ningtian gets scared seeing all those beautiful girls coming towards him. And he jumps upwards to avoid the girls. And starts running away from this place. And seeing Ningtian doing this, the eyes of those girls become moist. And those girls are saying, why did
the patriarch leave so fast? Yes, it would have been wonderful to soak into the hot springs with the patriarch. And Ningtian is running very fast, and he is saying, damn Luo Qingqing. I was almost being a perverted peep because of you. And that godly physique, it makes it even more dangerous. And Ningtian is thinking about those beautiful girls, and at the same time he remembers Luo Wuqing's face, and thinks, fortunately, I didn't cheat just now, otherwise my well-being for the rest of my life will be gone for sure. And as soon as Ningtian looks ahead, Luo Wuqing appears. And Luo Wuqing says to Ningtian, did you wash up well? And Ningtian gets surprised after seeing Luo Wuqing. Then Luo Wuqing asks Ningtian to follow her, and Ningtian asks where do we have to go? But Luo Wuqing does not say anything. And after some time, Luo Wuqing has brought Ningtian to a tunnel, and Ningtian is looking at this tunnel and saying, I didn't think the sect had such a place. And Luo Wuqing tells Ningtian, this is the forbidden region of the sect, the heavenly demonic cave, where the spiritual tablets of all previous leaders are. And Ningtian is surprised to hear this, and he is thinking, why is she telling me this? And Luo Wuqing is thinking, as long as I get a manual for becoming a god, and break through the god realm, the sect will no longer be afraid of any wicked people. Then Luo Wuqing says to Ningtian, Ningtian, I want you to do something for me. And Ningtian says, what is it? Then when Ningtian looks ahead, he is very surprised, because there is a huge statue in front of him. And Luo Wuqing is saying to Ningtian, I want you to drop some of your blood essence over the stone statue. And Ningtian gets surprised after listening to Luo Wuqing, and he is thinking, the blood essence represents the cultivator's purest energy. In case of dropping it like this, it's used to control the other person, which requires blood essence. And Luo Wuqing is telling Ningtian, don't worry, I don't wish to harm you. I would have done so a long time ago if I wanted to, how could you survive until now? And after listening to Luo Wuqing, Ningtian is thinking, what is she's? This saying is true. If she, a strong cultivator in the Emperor's realm, wants to kill me, even if I have the system, I will still perish. It's unusual for an Empress to marry a servant. Now that I am asked by her to do something, it must be important. Does it have to do with the entire sect? And Ningtian says, okay, I will do it. And Ningtian is thinking, there is a big power gap between us, so let's see what she wants first. Then Ningtian starts releasing his blood essence, and he brings his blood essence over his 2 fingers. And use your blood essence. And he applies its blue essence on the forehead of that idol. Due to which light starts emanating from that idol, and the eyes of that idol start glowing. And then a man appears at that place. And he is laughing very loudly, and he is saying, my heavenly demonic sect, I have awakened. And Luo Wuqing and Ningtian are surprised to see his power. And Luo Wuqing is saying, looking at that man, are you the sect's founder? This part starts, and Ningtian is looking at the heavenly demon and thinking, it's been at least several thousand years since the creation of the sect, and he is still alive? And the heavenly demon is laughing and saying, thousands of years have passed. Finally, someone with the godly physique was sent here. Someone with the godly physics is finally here. And Luo Wuqing is saying to the heavenly demon, what to do? You mean by this? Where is the manual and the way to become a god that you promised me? So the heavenly demon tells, haha, little girl, you're too naive. Do you really think that by practicing with the manual, you will be able to find the way to become a god? That's just a rumor that I made up. Thanks to your foolishness, I was able to find someone with a godly physique, which saved me a lot of effort. And after listening to the words of heavenly demon, Ningtian is thinking, so it turned out that she married me just from my godly physique, to get what, the way to become a god? And Luo Wuqing says to the heavenly demon, the ancestral teaching which has been passed down from generation to generation in the sect were actually fabricated by you, so, is the purpose helping you regain your body and return to the living? So the heavenly demon says that's correct. The previous leaders were all useless, none of them could find them godly physics. But luckily for me, you silly girl did. And hearing this, Luo Wuqing gets very angry, and she releases her power, and she says, "You wish to die." Then she attacks the heavenly demon with a heavenly demonic palm, and Luo Wuqing's attack releases a lot of energy, seeing which Ning Tian is thinking, this is the strength of an emperor. The power of her palm is much stronger than the one I could produce. But Luo Wuqing's attack does not make any difference to the heavenly demon. Rather, he says, "Little girl, even if you're a strong immortal emperor realm cultivator, you can't do a thing to me, yours ancestors. But I am currently just in a spiritual state, so I won't be stupid enough to confront you head on. My target is him." And the heavenly demon starts going to Ning Tian, and seeing her coming towards him, Ning Tian says, "Oh, he wants to take over my body?" And Ning Tian is smiling, and the heavenly demon has come very close to Ning Tian. And Ning Tian is telling him, "Come at me." And Luo Wuqing heavenly moves forward to stop the demon. But now it is too late. Heavenly demon has entered inside Ning Tian's body. And Luo Wuqing is about to attack the heavenly demon, and she is saying, "Get away." But now the heavenly demon has entered inside Ning Tian's body, and he is saying, "There's no way I'm getting out after entering." And now we see inside Ning Tian's body. And the heavenly demon is saying, "It's rumored that the godly physique is the best of the cultivation physiques. The ancient holy physique, the heavenly palace physique, they are all beneath it." What is that? Spiritual C. He actually has a spiritual C in his Dantian. So unexpected, he seems to have an amazing cultivation talent. It seems like I'm rather fortunate. Where does this thunder come from in his spiritual C? A thunder dragon spiritual vein? I've never seen a cultivator with spiritual veins that turn into a thunder dragon. Since ancient times, thunder and lightning have been the nemesis of the spirit. The slightest carelessness can lead the spirit to fly away. No, I can't stay in this body. And the heavenly demon tries to escape from Ning Tian's body. But then Ning Tian says to the heavenly demon, "Old man, now that you're inside, it's not so easy to get out." And seeing the power of Ning Tian, the heavenly demon gets very shocked, and he thinks, "This kid actually bested me like this. He must have known that my spiritual state is afraid of thunder and lightning the most. With a thunder dragon spiritual vein, it is impossible to be taken by force, so he let me in on purpose." So vicious, what? A remarkable method. And then Ning Tian gets a notification from the system. And in that notification it is written, "You have shocked the heavenly demon. Reward, spirit destruction skill. Destroy the spirit, convert the spirit's power into your own, and get stronger." And Ning Tian becomes happy after seeing the notification, and he is thinking, spirit destruction skill? That's interesting. Then Ning Tian starts reducing his size, and comes to the heavenly demon and says, "Heavenly demon, you're not so arrogant now?" And after listening to Ning Tian, the heavenly demon gets angry and says, "You brat, even if I'm just a spirit right now, I'm still in the immortal emperor realm. How can I be captured like this?" And the heavenly demon attacks Ning Tian with the heavenly demonic palm. But Ning Tian is watching the attack of the heavenly demon with a smile, and Ning Tian sends the thunder dragon to attack with just one gesture. And the thunder dragon destroys the attack of the heavenly demon. Seeing which the heavenly demon says, "Impossible." But Ning Tian has made it possible. And Ning Tian now sends a thunder dragon to attack the heavenly demon. And a lot of energy is coming out from the thunder dragon. And Ning Tian has used spirit destruction skill, heavenly demonic 13 forms on the heavenly demon. And the heavenly demon forms a seal to stop Ning Tian's attack. And he is saying, "Damn it, my spirit is completely suppressed by the thunder, I can't even exert half of my power." And Ning Tian is saying to the heavenly demon, "Heavenly demon, stop struggling and just turning into power for my godly physique." And hearing this, the heavenly demon shouts and says to Ning Tian, "You brat, I will kill you." And Ning Tian says, "Devour him." And the thunder dragon would have broken the heavenly demon's shield. And the thunder dragon attacks the heavenly demon, and the thunder dragon is about to devour him. And the heavenly demon is saying, "No, I don't want to." And the heavenly demon screams very loudly. And with this the game of heavenly demon ends. It becomes a resting peace. On the other hand, we see Luo Wuqing, which is very sad, and she is saying, "The manual to become a god. It was all a rumor, all of it was just a scam. What about him? He touched my body, I can't let him live, forget it. I was the one being deceived, I can't let him be taken by the heavenly demon in front of my own eyes." And Luo Wuqing is about to attack Ning Tian. But then the seal imposed by the heavenly demon is broken, and seeing this Luo Wuqing gets very shocked. Then Ning Tian calls Luo Wuqing his wife. And Luo Wuqing gets shocked after hearing this. Then she says, "You weren't possessed? After all, the ancestor is a strong cultivator in the immortal emperor realm. You are just a black warrior realm, and you absorbed all the power of the heavenly demon spirit?" And Ning Tian also gets shocked after seeing Luo Wuqing's action. But he smilingly says to Luo Wuqing, "Hee, with so much spiritual power, I'll get a lot of aura, right? And then Ning Tian gets another notification from the system. And it is written in it, the host has crossed the realm boundary after forcibly absorbing the spiritual power of a strong cultivator in the immortal emperor realm. Because of the difficulty of the absorption, self-destruction is about to happen. And then Ning Tian's eyes shine very brightly. And Ning Tian is feeling a lot of pain. And he is saying, ugh, it's too hot. My spiritual sea is boiling like lava. Too hot. I will explode. And seeing Ning Tian's condition, Luo Wuqing kisses Ning Tian directly, due to which Ning Tian gets very shocked. And Luo Wuqing is still kissing Ning Tian. And both of them are enjoying orgasm. Then Luo Wuqing says to Ning Tian, if you don't wish to explode, stay quiet. And Ning Tian is enjoying and thinking she is helping I suppress the violent spiritual power in my body? And Ning Tian has held Luo Wuqing's waist. After this, an hour later. Then Luo Wuqing said, it's all done now. And Luo Wuqing pushes Ning Tian away from her. And Ning Tian is smiling, and he is thinking, although the process was exciting, it was a bit abrupt. Then Luo Wuqing takes out something and says to Ning Tian, this is for you. And Ning Tian gets surprised to see that thing and he asks Luo Wuqing, what's this? So Luo Wuqing tells Ning Tian, this is the spirit pearl formed with the energy of the spirit. It contains the aura of the heavenly demon. You can use this as a daily absorption cultivation tool. Remember, your cultivation must be gradual and causes 2 ma at one go. I won't be there to save you every time you're in danger. And Ning Tian takes the spirit pearl. And he becomes happy. Then he says to Luo Wuqing, okay, thank you. Ning Tian further says, wife, now that we have destroyed the heavenly demon, doesn't that count as deceiving our ancestors? And as Ning Tian says, Luo Wuqing starts destroying this place. And she says, this guy has been deceiving generations of heavenly demonic sex leaders for his own selfish gains. A person who is not worthy of being a member of the heavenly demonic sect, it can't be said that we deceived anyone. And within some time, Luo Wuqing destroys this place, seeing which Ning Tian gets shocked. Then Luo Wuqing is thinking, but I did not expect the manual to actually be a fabricated lie. Without guidance on how to become a god, there is no way for me to break through. If the Righteous Alliance attacks, what will we do? Well, there's nothing we can do about it. If their people come, we will block them with all our might. Even if the heavenly demonic sect is destroyed, I will still make them culprits suffer in the future. Then Ning Tian's body starts glowing, seeing which Ning Tian gets shocked. And he says to Luo Wuqing, wife, I am breaking through? And Luo Wuqing also gets shocked, and she is thinking, it's really godly physics. Within a few days he had several breakthroughs and success. Such speed is truly a rare sight. Then Ning Tian sits down to do cultivation. And Luo Wuqing is saying while leaving, then I will leave you to cultivate in peace. After this, Ning Tian gets a notification from the system, and the system says, congratulations to the host for breaking through the 8-star Black Warrior realm. Congratulations to the host for breaking through to the 9-star Black Warrior realm. Host has undergone a breakthrough. Congratulations to the host for breaking through once again, 1-star spiritual realm. And Ning Tian is saying, after entering the spiritual realm, the difficulty of cultivation greatly increases. At that time, the aura needed will also increase. No matter what happens in the future, I have to stabilize my foundation first. After this the scene shifts and we see Shadow Demonic Sect. And a man is saying to the sect leader, In Sanshur is here. And the sect leader becomes happy after hearing this. Then he turns back and says, Sanshur, you broke through again? And Sanshur is saying, yes, this disciple has already received the peak of the spiritual realm. I'm just 1 step away from entering the Earth King realm. Then the sect leader says, you are only 20 years old, but you can already be compared to those elders who are around 50 years old. With yours potential, our sect has found its successor. It's a shame that our sect is being suppressed by that heavenly demonic sect. We will never be able to get ahead like this. Since ancient times, the demons have respected the strong. Then Sanshur says, the heavenly demonic sect has their powerful Empress who has been their leader for hundreds of years. And the sect leader is saying, the heavenly demonic sect follows the demonic path, and they also cultivate demonic arts. But how can a woman with a kind heart and a soft hand lead the people of the demonic path? The leader of the demonic path should be our shadow demonic sect. Sanshur, in 3 days, the heavenly demonic sect will be holding a Tao conference, and you will be there as a representative of our sect. You must remember, yours presence there is to elevate our sect's reputation. And Sanshur says to the sect leader, what do you mean, sect leader? Then the sect leader says, everyone in the demonic path has been unsatisfied with the Empress for a long time now. In addition, not long ago, dark clouds covered the sun and a thunder tribulation occurred. Many people were left restless, so they will send their geniuses there. And Sancher says, so, we must trample the disciples of the heavenly demonic sect under our feet in front of everyone. Then the Empress will suffer a great loss. And the sect leader is saying, exactly, let's see how she can hold on to her position as the leader of the demonic path when that happens. On the other hand, Ning Tian has made a breakthrough. And he is saying, I was lucky this time, the heavenly demon was just in a spiritual state, and he happened to be restrained
by the thunder and lightning, otherwise I might have been killed by him. According to what I've heard, the various forces are constantly fighting. We will definitely encounter dangerous situations in the future. She was right. There won't be someone to help me every time there is danger. Then Ning Tian gets a notification by the system, and the system says, host, the night of the full moon is full of aura. It's a good time to cultivate.
And Ning Tian is saying, I have to work hard and increase my strength as soon as possible. And Ning Tian sits down to do cultivation again. And as soon as some people see Ning Tian doing cultivation, they all get very shocked. And those people are saying, huh? It's so late, and there are still people cultivating on the Moonlight Cliff? And a man notices something, then he says, looks like the patriarch? And a girl is saying, it really is him. On a full moon night, he is cultivating here instead of enjoying the night with his Empress, he is so hard working. And the other girl says, men who work hard are so handsome. And seeing Ning Tian doing cultivation, all the men get very dangerous motivation. And those people are saying, our patriarch is working so hard. How can we fall behind? Yes, we should all cultivate too. Just then Ning Tian gets a notification from the system, and the system tells Ning Tian, you shocked all the disciples and motivated them to cultivate. Reward, tenfold moonlight aura absorption speed. And Ning Tian gets surprised after seeing the system notification, and he is thinking, what are? They were shocked about it. Whatever, let's cultivate in peace. Start tenfold moonlight aura absorption. And Ning Tian gets another notification by the system, and the system says, tenfold moonlight aura absorption speed, begin. And Ning Tian is absorbing a lot of spiritual energy. And seeing this everyone becomes even more shocked. And they all are saying, heavens, look! Even the moonlight is going towards the patriarch. And a girl says, the patriarch is truly divine. Just then the great elder arrives at that place. And looking at those people they say, what are you all doing gathered together in the middle of night? The girls are surprised to see the great elder. But a girl says to the great elder, please keep your voice down, we don't want to disturb the patriarch's cultivation. And the great elder gets shocked after hearing this. And when he looks ahead, he gets even more shocked. And he is saying, are my eyes seeing right? The patriarch is actually cultivating? And these brats too? And we see that many people have sat at that place to cultivate. And Ning Tian is cultivating while sitting on top of the peak. And a man tells the great elder to shut up. Then Ning Tian is absorbing the pearl given by Luo Wuqing, and a lot of energy is being released from that pearl and Ning Tian is absorbing it. Then the system gives a notification to Ning Tian, and it says the host has broken through. Congratulations to the host for breaking through again, and reaching the 2-star spiritual realm. And Ning Tian is saying, not bad. If I continue like this, I should be able to reach the Earth King realm within 2 months. Then the great elder, looking at Ning Tian's cultivation, says it took me 2 years to break through from the spiritual realm to the Earth King realm, and he's planning to reach it in 2 months, even saying this as if it's as easy as drinking water. This is abnormal, Brad is really. Then a disciple says in shock, everyone, look! What is that on the patriarch? And we see that Ning Tian has created a huge spiritual body of his own. And Ning Tian gets a reward from the system, and the system says, you shocked all the disciples and the great elder. Reward, faith cultivation. Or faith aura cultivation. And the system rewards Ning Tian, and tells him, faith cultivation. When you are surrounded by your followers and cultivate with them, the followers' asterisk cultivation speed will be doubled and the aura cultivated by the followers will replenish the host. And Ning Tian starts smiling after listening to the system. And he is thinking, replenish the host, that is good. There is no shortage of followers. But if I can get the great elder too, with his strength, the aura that replenishes me will be even stronger. Then Ning Tian comes down from the peak, and seeing Ning Tian's increased power, the great elder becomes very surprised. And he is a little nervous. Then Ning Tian says to the great elder, I saw the night sky, and the moonlight tonight is particularly bright. The aura is also abundant. Why don't we cultivate together, maybe we can gain a lot. Then the great elder says to Ning Tian, there's no need, I have somewhere else to be. But the great elder is thinking, in former days, the moonlight was the same, what could you gain? Then we see some disciples. Who is becoming very happy, and one of the disciples is saying, heavens, the patriarch is amazing. I broke through. And a female disciple says, me too. The patriarch is truly amazing. And as soon as the great elder listens to those disciples' words, he becomes extremely happy. And they are thinking, what kind of luck did they have tonight? Not only collective cultivation but even collective breakthrough. And then the great elder says to Ningtian, ahem, since the patriarch has invited me so kindly, I can't refuse. And then the great elder sits down with the disciple to do cultivation. But they are thinking, weird, why don't I feel anything special? Then a disciple says to the great elder, you need to shout. The patriarch is the coolest. First, as the heavenly demonic sex great elder, I can't say such shameless words. But after listening to that disciple's words, the great elder is getting angry. But he raises his hand, and he says, the patriarch is the coolest. And he passionately says, double the aura entering my body? The patriarch is truly the coolest dash. Then we see Ningtian, which sits down again for cultivation, and a lot of energy is coming out from inside it. And he is thinking, yes, with the aura of the moonlight, the pearl and the power of faith, the effect is indeed greater. And seeing Ningtian doing cultivation, the great elder's eyes become moist. And he is saying happily, with the patriarch here, the heavens have truly blessed our sect. After this the scene shifts. And we see, heavenly demonic palace. And Luo Wuqing is sitting at this place. Then the great elder is saying to Luo Wuqing, greetings to the Empress. Forgive me, I am late. Then Luo Wuqing asks the great elder, what happened, great elder? And the great elder explains, replying to the Empress, I followed the patriarch to cultivate at Moonlight Cliff last night, so I was late. And hearing this, another elder is surprised, and he says, with the patriarch? He is only a black warrior realm. Then the great elder explains, no, you don't understand. I cultivated with the patriarch, and the aura was more abundant and effective than usual. Then a second man says, although there hasn't been a breakthrough yet, your aura has definitely consolidated a lot. And a third man says, great elder, take me with you next time. And Luo Wuqing is a little surprised after listening to his words, and she is saying, this guy didn't come back all night and made such a fuss. Then Luo Wuqing says to all the people present at this place, everyone, let's get back to business. The Dao conference is about to begin soon. At that time there will be countless geniuses coming to our sect. Even if it's a friendly matter, the disciples of the heavenly demonic sect must not fall behind others. Elders, do you understand? And they all say yes after listening to Luo Wuqing. Then, 3 days later, we see that many cultivators are gathering in the heavenly demonic sect. And they all are saying, Great Stone Sect, greeting the heavenly demonic sect. Splitting Mountain Sect, greeting the heavenly demonic sect. Heaven Soaring Sect, greeting the heavenly demonic sect. Shadow Demonic Sect, greeting the heavenly demonic sect. And the disciples are very shocked to see so many cultivators. And one disciple is saying, so many people have come to the conference this time. Then the other disciple says, even the 3 great demonic geniuses are here. That is the genius of the Heaven Soaring Sect, Ling Ao. A genius swordsman, cool and calm, I heard he is the young master of the sect. The chief disciple of the Shadow Demonic Sect, Yin Sancher. He is so vicious that he once slaughtered a whole village on his own. However, the Shadow Demonic Sect and our Heavenly Demonic Sect have always been at odds. It's difficult to say if he's here with good intentions or if there's something else brewing. And then someone enters that place. Seeing what another disciple is saying, it smells nice. And the female disciple is saying, it's the Saint of Yaoqi. They have no disputes with anyone, they didn't come to the Empress wedding either. But this time, a saint has come. And indeed Saint is looking very beautiful. Then a man welcomes all of those cultivators, and says to them, welcome to the Heavenly Demonic Sect, everyone. I'm Li Changxing, I will take you to the conference stage. And Saint says to that senior brother, I saw many disciples of the Heavenly Demonic Sect cultivating on the cliff peak over there from a distance. May I ask which genius disciple of your sect is on top of the cliff? And the senior tells, oh, that's our patriarch who is leading them. And as soon as he listens to the 3 seniors, he is thinking, the patriarch, the husband of the Empress? And Ling Ao says, just in the spiritual realm. He can't even take care of himself and he is leading others? That's nonsense. Then we see some disciples, who are becoming very happy. And those people are saying, I broke through. The patriarch is truly a god. And a female disciple says, ha ha ha. I broke through. The patriarch is truly a god. And the seniors are saying happily, such a pretense. Then we see Ningtian, who is leaving, thinking, this chance to improve my skills, how could I miss it? Then we see, conference stage. And many cultivators gather at this place, and all those people are sitting and watching the competition. And one participant breaks a rock very easily. And he is saying happily, the great mountain sect's power is infinite. Please guide me, Heavenly Demonic Sect senior brother. And after listening to him, his brother is smiling and he is saying, of course, junior brother Li. I will gladly guide you. And she shows off her muscular body. Then he punches the rock, and very easily breaks the rock into pieces. And seeing the power of that man, the other man gets very shocked, and he says, "I give up." Then we see the great elder, who is laughing very loudly. And next to him is his daughter Luo Wuqing. And the great elder is saying, "We have elite disciples, so they will definitely achieve a total victory in this conference." And Luo Wuqing says, "Don't be too happy, the three most difficult opponents haven't taken the stage yet." Then Ningtian comes behind Luo Wuqing, and he says to Luo Wuqing, "Three most difficult opponents? Let me see them?" Then Yin Sancher is flying in the air, and he is saying, "Some people cultivate with the Tao of swords, some with the Tao of music. Each path of the Tao has its own characteristics. I am Yin Sancher, and I don't care about any of them today. Let's just talk about what is Tao." And as soon as the crowd sees Yin Sancher, they all start saying, "Is the shadow demonic sect here to cause trouble? What is this question even? The Tao is truly mysterious, no one can solve this question." And Yin Sancher is saying, "No one has thought of the answer for thousands of years." And at the same time he is thinking, "Today I will let your heavenly demonic sect get on stage, and not get off." And Luo Wuqing is thinking after listening to Yin Sancher, it is said that if one understands even a bit of the Tao, they can break through without even cultivating. The shadow demonic sect has come prepared today. We then see the elders, who are extremely shocked. And one of the elders is saying, "What should we do? Drive him away for cause trouble?" And the great elder says, "No, in that case, won't our sect lose face? This is what the shadow demonic sect is waiting for." And the second elder says, "Then should we just admit defeat today and let them slap us in the face like this?" Then we see Ningtian, who is eating an apple. And he is smiling. Then he says to Luo Wuqing, "Wife, are all the shadow demonic sect disciples sissies like him? Such a pity, just like a woman in men's clothes." And as soon as Ningtian says this, the reaction on Yin Sanchi's face changes. And he thought, to be so close to Luo Qingqing, he must be the patriarch, right? Such a worthless man for her. And the crowd is saying, "Wow. He hates being called a woman the most. Who is that crazy? If you offend him, you will be in big trouble." Then Yin Sancher says, "So? No one in the entire heavenly demonic sect can answer me?" Then in response Ningtian says, "Sissy, is such a simple question worthy of being asked at a Tao conference?" And we see Yin Sancher, who is thinking, he is so calm, does he really have an answer to my question? That's impossible. I have been preparing this question for a long time now. This stupid patriarch is only in the spiritual realm, how could he know? And the great elder is saying, "Do you know the answer, patriarch?" Then Ningtian says, "What is Tao? I don't know what's so difficult about this simple question. Just take a good look." And Ningtian starts going down rapidly. And he reaches the stage. And seeing Ningtian, the crowd starts saying, "The patriarch has entered the stage. The patriarch has shocked us too many times now." And a female is saying, "Ah, how will he shock us this time?" And Yin Sancher says to Ningtian, "I see that you are young, and your level is low. Does the demonic heavenly sect really wish to be as hasty as to send you to answer my question?" And Ningtian says, "Sometimes, some things are not determined by age." Then we see Lingao, which is saying, "It's stupid to call this question simple. I suppose
He is just talking nonsense. Sissy, I will now tell you what Tao is." And then Ningtian starts telling Yin Sancher, "Tao, it's formless, soundless, and sinless. It's vast with no boundaries, and tiny with no
space. Tao, it creates all of heaven and earth. It's the whole energy that dominates everything in the world." And the crowd starts getting very surprised after listening to Ningtian's words. And an old man starts speaking, as expected of the patriarch, his understanding of the Tao is so deep and unfathomable. And the other guy says, "Why couldn't understand the patriarch's words?" And a woman says, "Regardless, he looks so cool." And Yaoqi Saint is thinking, he is worthy of being the legendary patriarch. He stabilized the situation with just 2 sentences. And after listening to Ningtian's explanation, Yin Sancher tells him, "Do you think you can get away with it by spouting some words that no one understands?" And Ningtian says to him, "What are you talking about? Hey, it's bad to be that uneducated. Listen carefully. For you, there won't be a lesson like this again. There are 3,000 paths, each of which have their own understanding. Take the sword Tao for example. This path uses the sword intent. It is the swordsman's understanding of the sword. If the person who is practicing swordsmanship understands sword intent, he can be said to have understood the sword Tao. By analogy, what is Tao? I don't need to explain them one by one, right? What the patriarch is saying is that there are 3,000 kinds of Tao among those paths, right? Every one of them is unique in its own way?" And the crowd gets very shocked after hearing Ningtian's explanation. And Ningtian further explains, "The Tao is simply the path you choose. Among the 3,000 paths, when you succeed in cultivating one, the Tao is already in your heart. Otherwise, how could you succeed in cultivation? Then, the crowd gets very excited after hearing this. And they all start saying, I get it. The patriarch's words have enlightened me and solved all my issues. I am going to break through. Yin Sancher along with the crowd gets very shocked after hearing Ning Tian's words. And he is saying, it can't be, it's impossible. To cultivate the Tao, to understand the Tao is in the heart. If it was that simple, I would have. And then, after listening to Ning Tian's words, Yin Sancher makes a breakthrough. And he becomes even more shocked. And Ning Tian is smiling, and he is saying, he doesn't admit it with his mouth but his body is honest. At the same time Ning Tian is thinking, I didn't expect that my casual talk could shock these talented people, they must be easy to fool. And then Ning Tian gets a notification from the system, and the system says, you are shocked. Everyone present. Bonus skill card, Great Emperor Strike. Great Emperor Strike. You can use the strike of a peak immortal Emperor realm. After use, the skill card becomes invalid. And seeing the system notification, Ning Tian is thinking, the strike of a peak immortal Emperor realm cultivator. If I encounter a powerful enemy whose realm has several stages higher than mine, this is equivalent to having a life-saving trick. And the Great Elder is very shocked, and he is saying, in the past, one wise thought from him shook the hearts of many talents. And now, he cleared up everyone's doubts. Having such a patriarch is truly a rare blessing for us. But Luo Wuqing is watching Ning Tian's moments carefully. Then Yin Sancher says to Ning Tian, I admit, it is my loss today. And saying this, Yin Sancher starts leaving the stage. And the crowd is saying, the patriarch of the heavenly demonic sect is amazing. But while Yin Sancher is saying, the plan failed, so the sect leader has to make a move. Humph. So what if you can answer it? After I return to the sect, you and your sect will suffer a huge loss of face. After this, Ling Ao says to Ning Tian, the heavenly soaring sect, Ling Ao. Please guide me, patriarch. And Ling Ao comes on stage. Then he says, I wish to discuss the sword Tao. And seeing Ling Ao in front of Ning Tian, the crowd starts saying, the show is starting. Ling Ao is the most powerful among these three geniuses, and his strongest point is swordsmanship. Can the patriarch still stand victorious? And Ning Tian says to Ling Ao, bring it on. At the same time Ning Tian is thinking, great. Just in time to test the martial arts given by the system. Then Ling Ao takes his sword out of its sheath, and he is saying, the shadow sword in my hand is a treasure-grade weapon. And he attacks Ning Tian with the sword. And seeing this the crowd starts saying, heavens! In the entire heavenly spirit domain, the treasure weapon is one of the most powerful. The sect leader really values him giving him such a sword. Treasure grade? Is that so powerful? Weapons of the domain are generally divided into 5 grades. Magic weapon, spiritual weapon, treasure weapon, immortal weapon, and artifact. I heard there are grades above artifacts, but no one has seen them. And Ning Tian starts smiling after listening to the crowd. And he is thinking, I see. However, the weapon is secondary, its effectiveness still depends on its user. And Ling Ao turns his sword towards Ning Tian. Then he says, Patriarch, why don't you have a sword? If you don't, how can we discuss the sword Tao? And Ning Tian says, I don't have one. And hearing this the crowd wants to give their weapons to Ning Tian, and those people are saying, Patriarch, I have a good one. And the other man says, use mine, Patriarch. Mine is good, it's a spiritual weapon. Then we see that energy starts coming out from inside Ning Tian, which is thunder. And Ning Tian is saying, although I have no physical sword, I have other ones. And as soon as Ling Ao feels Ning Tian's aura, he gets extremely shocked. And he is saying, aura turning into a sword, your swordsmanship has reached complete perfection. And we see that because of Ning Tian's power, a thunder dragon has been formed. And Ning Tian is saying, sword intent dragon. And Ning Tian attacks Ling Ao with a dragon. And Ling Ao gets very nervous after seeing this. Then the crowd is saying, such a fierce sword intent. It's like a blue dragon bursting out of the mountain plar, it's incredible. Then Ning Tian apologizes to Ling Ao and says, sorry, my hand slipped. Even if I have understood sword immortal practice to master it. And Ling Ao is very nervous. And he is saying, the sword intense patriarch and I have mastered are not at the same level at all. There's really always someone better. Patriarch, I surrender. In this exchange I've lost. And as soon as the crowd hears Ling Ao saying that he has accepted defeat, they all become very happy. And they all are saying, he won. I know it. The patriarch would definitely win. He actually defeated the most powerful genius of the demonic path. The patriarch is truly strong. And Ling Ao starts leaving the stage. And while leaving he is saying, Yaoqi Saint, will you come next? And seeing Ling Ao leaving, Ning Tian is thinking, I at least got the chance to fight with someone and test the sword's intent. Then we see Yaoqi Saint. which is speaking to Ning Tian, Patriarch, I'm not here to discuss Tao, I'm here
too. And as soon as Yao Qi says this, purple-colored energy starts coming on the stage, seeing which Ning Tian gets surprised. And he's thinking, this is bad, my aura is being suppressed. I can't move.